What if the power of the gods was replaced by the fiercest forces nature ever unleashed? Today, we're creating something prehistorically powerful, a version of Shazam with a little twist, a drastic twist on one of DC's most iconic heroes. So here is Shazam, also known as Captain Marvel. Shazam is the alter ego of teenager Billy Batson, chosen by the ancient wizard Shazam to wield the powers of six legendary beings. S is for the wisdom of Solomon. H is for the strength of Hercules. A for the stamina of Atlas. Z for the power of Zeus. A for the courage of Achilles. And M for the speed of Mercury. With one word, Shazam, Billy transforms into a magical superhero with godlike powers. But what if those powers came from dinosaurs? Imagine a world where instead of ancient gods, the magic draws from the greatest predators, defenders, and survivors of Earth's distant past. Welcome to Jurassic Shazam. Shout out to this comment for the idea. And if you have an idea similar to this, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Alright, who do we have first?
Wisdom, Truden. Background. One of the most intelligent dinosaurs based on brain-to-body ratio, why it fits. Truden could symbolize tactical genius, keen senses, and problem-solving abilities in battle. Champion gains, enhanced intelligence, environmental, scanning, and survival instinct.
This makes so much sense when you think about the brain-to-body ratio of this dinosaur. I can definitely understand the keen sense, tactical genius, it's just the huge brain capability of this creature. So the enhanced intelligence, environmental scanning, and survival instinct would be crazy. I imagine this type of Shazam being not the most powerful of the ones that we created, but I think I like the creativity of it, the savagery, Take this Shazam and put it back in the past of some, what I'm saying? Like, I can see this being a great story. Send some villains back there, some iconic villains. Make this a story, because this is something that could actually pop off. Alright, who do we have next?
Strength, Tyrannosaurus rex. Background, the most iconic apex predator, known for its crushing bite and raw power. Why it fits. T-Rex brings the godlike strength aspect of Hercules, champion gains, unmatched raw strength, devastating melee power, and fear-inducing presence.
Of course, if this is not the most popular dinosaur ever, we are definitely going to put this in the strength. Even though the arms are very tiny, we're not thinking about that. We're talking about the raw power, the crushing bite. This is an apex predator. Very iconic. So it's going to bring in the strength, the arm match, raw strength, devastating power. The fear inducing is going to be there. The presence is going to be there. This is something different. And if you think about what I said before about the villains, I feel like Vandal Savage. Yeah, he was back there, with the cavemans and whatnot. Definitely have a Shazam-like character that gets his power from the dinosaurs. Have Vandal Savage, the big villain. But yeah, that could be crazy. Alright, who do we have next?
Stamina, Apatosaurus or Brachiosaurus. Background, huge sauropods that roamed for decades, requiring enormous energy and endurance. Why it fits. Their sheer size and slow, sustained movement across continents represent unyielding stamina, champion gains, near-endless endurance, resistance to fatigue, and unshakable resolve.
Yeah, this is huge. One of the biggest dinosaurs. And with that, you're going to need the energy, the endurance that is going to be there, like enormous types of energy, endurance, the drive, Yeah, it's slow. It's going to have a size, but it makes sense to why it's slow. This is a huge creature. But with that, you're going to have the endurance. You're going to have the resistance to fatigue. It's a tank, very unstoppable, unmovable. This is an awesome choice for the stamina. It makes sense. This Jurassic Shazam, I don't know. I feel like if I was to see this in the store, if I was to walk through a comic book store, and I see like a Prehistoric Shazam. I'm like, huh? What? Ideas are already popping in my head. Like the story itself is going to be what's going to draw me in. The art is crazy, but just the what if, that is a different combination. Maybe I should do like a futuristic Shazam. I don't know, but yeah, just putting it back in the prehistoric days. I don't think they've done anything like that. I know the Marvel, it did 1 million BC, I think. Yeah, they played around with it. Why not? All right, who do we have next?
Power, Spinosaurus. Background, one of the largest carnivores ever, capable of both land and water dominance. Why it fits. Spinosaurus could represent a hybrid of power and versatility. Champion, gains control over elemental forces like water and electricity, lightning. From the sail fin,
This is the power, the versatility, the water dominance, the capability to dominate on land and water. One of the largest carnivores ever. Wow. It makes sense to put this one for the power. This is insane. I love it. I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, what other choice could have been here to represent the power when it comes to the dinosaurs and yeah, to be honest, I feel like this makes the perfect choice. It makes sense to me. Y'all let me know. Let me know. All right, who do we have for courage?
Courage, Triceratops. Background, known for facing down predators like T-Rex, with its horns and shield-like frill. Why it fits. A symbol of bravery and defensive might, champion gains, increased mental fortitude, protective aura, and bull-like charge attacks.
You want to know what's funny? Like, I feel like every time I see a Triceratops and they are fighting like the bigger predators and the meat eaters, carnivores, they are holding their own. They are fighting. They're not running from whatever's hunting them. I feel like the courage is a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit. I feel like they have the horns, the weapons, the shielding, and they are about that action. Even though they don't eat meat, man, they are some savage. They are going in, and I love it for the courage. They are known for facing down their predators. Yeah, this is the symbol of bravery and defensive might. I 110% agree with this. You're going to bring in the increased mental fortitude, protective aura. Absolutely. It just looks like it's going to die fighting, protecting what is going to protect. You know what I'm saying? So definitely the ideal choice. Who do we have for the last choice for the speed?
Speed, Velociraptor. Background, small lightning-fast predator with high agility and cunning. Why it fits, embodies super speed and precision. Champion gains, hyperspeed movement, rapid strikes, aerial acrobatics.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. The Raptor is definitely up there for speed. All you hear when it comes to these Raptors is they are fast. They are fast. So very fast, has the agility, cunning. This is the embodiment of speed when it comes to the dinosaurs. Very fast, hyper speed movement, rapid strikes. Absolutely. This is the perfect choice. This Jurassic Shazam is next level. I love it. Like I said before, I'm not going for the most powerful Shazam. I feel like we got that covered with some of these ones that we did, but this right here might be number one when it comes to the most creative one. This is something I would read. I felt like maybe I should do like a what if. I should start taking these ideas, these original characters, and actually putting them in stories. And seeing if y'all like that. That could be something dope to continue this type of series. Just to see, if y'all like that. Y'all let me know if y'all want something like that. I don't mind, expanding on these ideas, because if I don't, then who will? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this Jurassic Shazam. And y'all stay safe.